Kimberly, stupid idea. Murgatroyd, how the hell are you today?
I am great.
Hey, listen, I want to read something to you. I got an email this morning that I think will set the tone for what this podcast is about.
All
And
right.
I will keep her or his name private. Hello. I've become aware of your website, and I've realized through this, and you'll understand, this person lives in another country, so English is not their first language. I've realized through the stroke of this fate that I am not happy in my life, in my partnership, in my profession. It no longer fills me up. I'm currently living to make money and then come home and then rest from work and then go back and do it again. I've changed my employers 3 times now in the last 4 years. Maybe it's the job. It just doesn't fill me up. I don't enjoy it. Now, these are letters that I get constantly from people that are in a situation that they don't love, and it's somewhere around, reports will show that, and I don't know what reports, so don't ask me, that will show that there's about an 80% job dissatisfaction when you ask people how do they like what it is that they're doing. Most people do not, because they're not listening to that small voice inside of them that is saying, hey, you're dying a slow death here. I was included in that. And, not that long ago, actually this week, on this day, we're recording this on 11/11.
It's kind of a magic number, no?
And how many years ago on 11/11 did we make the decision?
So on 11/11, 6 years ago today, we decided to take a leap and to try something different, to try something that we were a little nervous to try. We didn't know what people would think. We didn't know what else to do, though, quite frankly. So we had Sophia in September of 2014, and the moment they put that baby in my arms, I basically looked to Rob and said, I'm not going back to work. And we had to figure it out. And we had a clinic. I was working in the clinic with him, and he didn't really want to go back to work either, but he had to, right? Because somebody had to. So we decided to sit down and make a list of what we wanted our life to look like. What would we want our dream life to look like? And then from there, we played a little game called Stupid Idea Time. We got a glass of wine. I remember literally exactly where I was, big round table, looking at the baby monitor, glass of wine in my hand, Sophia sleeping, big whiteboard. You were sitting. It was like an oddly large table. It's like the kings of the round table. And you were sitting a little bit far away because it's just how the table was set. And we threw up every single idea under the sun that we could because we wanted to live in California. I didn't want to have to work a typical job. He didn't want to be a chiropractor anymore. We wanted a different life. And I wanted to put Sophia into Montessori school. I was like, I found the perfect one, and we knew what we wanted. We just didn't know how we were going to get there. So we played Stupid Idea Time, threw everything up on the board, really, in hindsight, stupid ideas. And we threw up the idea of what if we did what we watched our friends do successfully, which was network marketing. And we looked at it, and Rob had a lot of concerns. So for like couple, 2-3 weeks, he put our friends through basically every test he could possibly come up with and asked every question under the sun. And finally, today, 6 years ago, we placed our order for the products for you to try, because I had already used them, to see if you liked them. And so today's kind of a big anniversary, because had we not made this leap 6 years ago, we would not be sitting in our office in California filming a video podcast right before you go to the beach and go surfing.
Yeah, so all right, so let's unwind that for a second. If you're sitting in a place right now where you're like, I'm living a life that I don't want to be living, and you have no freaking idea how to get out of it, there is a process. We've put together a process by banging our freaking heads against the wall, by
doing it wrong,
humbling ourselves to do something that we thought was quote unquote beneath us, by having many wall kicking moments, and in spite of those wall kicking moments, pushing through. and doing things that were ineffective in order to find things that were effective. So, what Kim was referencing is I didn't want to do network marketing. It was like, for me, it was like not something that was in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
I had no desire to do it. But because our dream was bigger and I didn't have another way to do it, we decided to go all in and be able to do it. And that was 6 years ago, ironically, today. Now, we used that as a platform that allowed us to get to the next level, which is doing the different things that we're doing now. So the point is, network marketing may or may not be for you. That's not what the point of this is. The point is that there is a system that you can put together. You can do it yourself, or we've just put together a course. I'll tell you how to get it. Let's tell them how to get it now.
So we've put together a free Dream Life course that will walk you through the entire process. And like Rob said, this isn't about network marketing. This is about you coming up with your idea and putting your idea into action. And we walk you through the entire thing, the decision-making process, and all of the things. So if you want that course, text the words Dream Life to one, sorry, you hate when I say the one, 310-388-9724.
And we'll put that up on the screen so people can see it. Text the word Dream Life to the number that you see on your screen, and it is our free Dream Life video course. So what we did was we walked in that course, we walked through exactly, like we sat down, we pulled out a whiteboard, like recently to make this course. And we're like, what the fuck did we go through to get to where we are now? Because some of it, honestly, it felt like we were in a raft going down a river, and then sometimes when we made a left on that river, if rivers make a left, I don't know if they do, we hit our face against the wall and go like, holy shit, that didn't work.
Let me share about that. So here's the thing. We had been trying for years to create an additional income. We had an online business, travel business called Jet Set Life, where we produced our own travel shows and sold guidebooks. We had an online fitness program that was really successful, Jet Set Body. We had courses. We had all of these things. And some were really successful at first. Some were semi-successful and some just straight up shit the bed. And what we realized is none of those things at that time was going to be our path. So we made a different decision to create a financial foundation in doing something that I still do and absolutely love. But that's not necessarily the road for every single person. What we did learn, though, in that process is how to do it wrong and then how to do it right. And now we were able to look at our entire experience from 2006 when we first started Jet Set Life all the way to now 2020, 14 years we've been in the online marketing world. And we were able to dissect the things that worked, the things that didn't, the things that helped us create clarity on what we wanted, which, by the way, I think is probably where most people are stuck. They don't know what they want. They think they want a business that does a certain thing and that they want to speak on a stage or they want to do this, but they don't actually know what they want in their life. And I think we have unlocked the code to figuring out what someone actually wants. And then the next step, stupid idea time. Stupid idea time is our trademark process that we go through every week, at least on something. It has brought us through some of the darkest times of our life. It has brought us through amazing brainstorming for new products and courses. Stupid idea time is what we used to create our 4-month sabbatical in Europe. It was like, okay, stupid idea time. What if we just spent 4 months in Europe between your 2 work hard, play hard events and traveled to all these countries? Stupid idea time. What if we went to a random country called Montenegro? Like, it's a way to elevate and expand your brainstorming process. And then the decision making of how to break all of that down. Once you have all of these ideas and all of these dreams, how do you put that into action? How do you decipher and sift out what you want, what you don't want, and then put it into action. And that's what our Dream Life course is all about.
Yeah, I mean, basically what we did was we just duplicated. We're a big fan of modeling things. Why reinvent the wheel if you've got a system? We didn't have a system. We didn't know what the fuck we were doing. We were trying to
We're just
figure
doing
it
what's
out.
next.
We knew that, like, well, that didn't work. Like, we came up with a lot of really stupid ideas before we came up with, well, let's just actually formalize a stupid idea process, look for stupid ideas, and maybe there'll be a nugget in all of those stupid ideas. And so there were a lot of little things. Like, we started using Tim Ferriss's Dreamline process, which is like, write down everything you want to have, be, and do over 90 days, and then how much does it cost you? And it's a whole process. And Kim mentioned Tony Robbins has a matrix. It's called a decision-making matrix. It took me like a day to understand, because it's super, super detailed, with really looking at splitting hairs with upsides and downsides of a decision that you're trying to make. Anyway, the point is that we didn't do just one thing to be able to, live the life that we're living now. And please, like, don't confuse when I say, like, living the life we're living now. Don't see that as, look at us, living in a $20 million house driving Lamborghinis.
I was going to say.
That's not the point of what your dream life is. What your dream life is what the fuck do you want? What's the thing that wakes you up in the morning? And, like, one of the things that I'm looking at right now is, do we have bigger dreams? Yeah, we do. We want to have a villa in Tuscany. We do want to have a house that looks over at the ocean. Do we want a $100,000 car? No, we don't. And so every single thing that you want in your life, there's a cost for. If you want a $100,000 cost for, there's an output of work that you have to do to have that. And that output of work takes away from the other things that you can be doing with your life. So getting really clear on what you want and not leaning your ladder up against a house that is not the house that you want to be leaning the ladder up against. It takes work. It takes heavy lifting for you to sit down and go through this process. So that's why we created it, to help.
So one of the biggest things I think when we were creating this that I kind of looked at and really kind of was an aha is what he's talking about. We truly started from the point of, what do we want the life to look like? What does our perfect day look like? What does it look like when you wake up in the morning? He wrote this beautiful story that, by the way, I hope you still have somewhere, but you throw everything out, so probably not. He wrote this story years and years ago when we lived in Atlanta, long before we thought this was actually going to come true. And it started with waking up and the type of coffee he was drinking and the view that he had and the location and the car that he got in and what he did in that car and walking our daughter to school and surfing in the afternoon. And he went through his entire day, what he really wanted the day to look like. And people don't do that. People say, I want to empower women to make a change. And so I'm going to build this business that empowers women. And I want to do this and this and this and this and this. And then I want to build that. And they start with the business model instead of what they actually want. Because what you want has to come first. If you're like, for me, I want to homeschool Sophia. I want to spend very few hours a day working. And I want to spend the most of my day doing amazing things, enjoying the outdoors. I'd love to go on a crazy long walk every day and to spend incredible time with Sophia and taking once or twice a week, taking a field trip somewhere in California to show her something new. I would love that. And so I want a job that only is a couple of hours a day. I don't want some big, crazy company that is going to take up all of my time, because that's not my life. I'm not living to work. I'm working a little bit so I can live a great life.
Okay, so this is a really interesting point. So I remember listening to a Chalene Johnson podcast, and if you don't listen to her, I recommend it. She's got she's got a show called The Chalene Show, and she's got a show called Build Your Tribe. It's two shows, two different feeds, and it was really interesting because if you're looking at an 8-hour workday, she intentionally said, I'm going to work 4 hours from 8 until noon, right? 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, from 8 until noon. And then I'm done. And then I'm going to live my life. So think about something as simple as that. You could work 8 hours and you'll get X output, or you can work 4 hours and you'll get X output. So on one hand, there could be an argument, well, you're only working half as much, so you'll only make half the money. Or the other argument could be, well, I know how much money I want to make and I only have 4 hours to make it, so I'm going to make sure I make that money within those 4 hours and I'm going to live my life. So you're intentionally putting constraints on that. Here's the point. The point is that whatever it is for you, I have one friend that is working on $1 billion exit. I have another friend that's working on a $250 million exit. And these aren't dreams. These are like they're getting offers, right? There is a trade-off that they have explained to me. If you're wired that way and it lights you up and getting that number on the scorecard is the thing that you need.
And the journey that you take to get there and it fuels you.
But if it doesn't, then do the thing that you want. Okay, now we're going to run out of battery power on our GoPro, which we're recording this. So we're going to have to wrap this video version up. This is all new to us. We're new to video, kids.
So just to kind of wrap it in a bow. This Dream Life free course that we created because we want people to live a fulfilling life. We don't just want to show you how to make $1 million. We want you to live a life that you absolutely love, figure out what that looks like, how much is it going to cost, and reverse engineer that number. Don't just arbitrarily throw a dot that I want to make $1 million. Really create it from the beginning, which is what do you want? And we will walk you all the way through the process.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Go to Dream Life. Sorry, text, this is all new. Text the word Dream Life to the phone number 310-388-9724. And as soon as the course is ready, we will send it to you. Have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you next week.